So for our liter lesson, I have here a display that goes from the tiniest amount of liquid in liters all the way up to some of the larger ones. So we're going to walk through these real quick so you can see an example of what that looks like in real life. So over here, we're going to start with something that if you've ever been to the doctor or you've been sick, this is a shot. I'll pull it off for a minute. I should do this two-handed. Luckily, we are not getting one of these today. Yay. But if you look at the side, if I can get it, see that little ml down there? And it's actually decimals. So that's what we learned when we were doing our math unit. So this isn't even 1 whole milliliter. If you were to fill up this entire tube, it would only be 0.5, which is half of a milliliter. So that would be a half of a milliliter. Now this would be the best measurement for just 1 milliliter. 1 spoon, if that spoon is filled up with liquid, that would be 1 milliliter of liquid. And now if you've seen super glue before, what the liquid that is in this tube is about 3 milliliters. Here is a type of measuring cup, and if we look at the side of it again, you can see that ml. If you were to fill it up to the 5, that would be 5 milliliters, 10 milliliters, and then all the way up to this point would be 15 milliliters. So again, not a very, if you compare that, how small that is to my hand, not a lot of liquid would go in there. This one, a little cup, would be 25 milliliters. So if I was to take liquid, I've got some water here, which is a liquid, and then 1 milliliter, I would have to go 25 times to fill that up. Meaning this is again back to our 1 reference, and it would take 25 times of me going in there to fill that up. That's what the 25 milliliters means. This is a perfume. Sure, some of you have seen some perfume. When you buy perfume, a lot of the times it will say ounces, which is your other lesson for this week, but it'll also usually tell you the milliliters. So that is like a purse perfume. And then another one that I don't like, but Mr. Harwood loves, we have a lot of these in our pantry, is some hot sauce. And if you look at the hot sauce, that is, if it was full, Mr. Harwood has used some of it, so it doesn't quite have 88 in there anymore, but this container would hold 88 milliliters. And then something that I hope none of you are having to take right now, but I'm pretty sure you probably have, there is some cough medicine, and the cough medicine bottle holds 118 milliliters. But if we look at the little cup that you take your medicine with, if you see that right there, it says 30 milliliters. So if that would be the prescription or how much you should take. So that's why they give you the little cup. And again, it's measured in milliliters. This is vanilla. If you or your parents cook some nice cookies or a cake, you usually put vanilla in it to make it sweet. That is 250 milliliters. Now I wanted to show you this one too, because it's not always just a big bottle. Now we've made it up to 295. So again, if we go back to our reference of what did that 1 milliliter look like, we would have to take 295 of these and dump them in with full of liquid to fill up that pretty small container. Again, I'll give you a hand reference. Really not too big, and it's already up to a large number of 295. This is a type of something that when you're cooking barbecue, some ribs, that's 360 milliliters. Now this one I think is really good to see. I'm going to move that one. These are both 500 milliliters. Take a look at the difference. This one over here is vinegar that you put like on salad. Look at the difference in this bottle. It seems like it's a lot larger bottle, but they're actually both the same amount because of the difference of the width of the bottle. So that can be a little tricky when we're doing the volume and the capacity of liquid. because the liquid, again, takes the shape of what you put it in. So it depends a lot on that bottle. So those are both exactly 500 milliliters. And here's another example of how the same exact liquid can look different. Of course, the Gatorade is a much shorter, not much, but I would say about an inch there, but it's thicker, it's wider, so it has more, it's taking more in there. Those are both 591. Over here, this is something that you put in your coffee to make it taste good. We've gotten up to 750. So we're very close to 1,000 if this entire thing was filled up. Lemon juice, again, you can tell I raided my pantry. I have all cooking things. Going back again, if I needed to fill this up with lemon juice, I would have to do that, this spoon 946 times to get that amount of liquid in there. Because this was, again, 1 and almost to 1,000. Now, when we get to 1,000 milliliters, we don't say 1,000 milliliters anymore. Once we get to 1,000, we have now created just a regular liter. So 1 liter is the same thing as 1,000 milliliters. Literally 1,000 of these. I am not going to sit and fill this up, but I could fill this up. It would take 1,000 scoops of the liquid to go in there to fill these up. And again, take a look. These are both going to hold 1 full liter of liquid. And this is a vase, again, to give you a reference in my hand. And I think if I put this one over here, because we've seen those Coke bottles before. So almost double of this would fit in here. But if you poured it in here, that would also be a 1 liter. Because now we've made it to just a liter. And then over here, a very large, I'll put that one over there again so you can see it as a reference, a huge water jug. The water jug is 3.78. So 3 78/100ths, which would mean it's almost 4 liters. So this huge thing, huge bottle, look at it compared to the Coke bottle, is still not even quite 4 liters. So when we're thinking about liters, and when we go to kiloliter, which is 1,000 of these, think to yourself, what would be so big that you could fill it up with 1,000 of these? If you have a bathtub in your house, it would take 4 bathtubs. Now, I don't have a bathtub. I only have showers. So I'm going to go to the one place that would take kiloliters in my house. And hopefully you guessed it, the only place, because I don't have bathtubs, I only have showers in my house, the only place that would be large enough for me to measure the liquid in kiloliters would be a pool. This pool is about 3 kiloliters. So if we go back to that little tiny spoon that was inside, it would take 3,000 of those. If we go to just a regular liter, it would be 3,000 of those. 30,000 milliliters. 3 liters. And that is why we're not doing conversions this week, because Miss Harwood just converted wrong. We are only knowing that this huge pool would be measured in kiloliters.